is a day called Mother's Day, and it touches the things that are concern me. If it is a Mother's Day, who is a mother? The definition of a mother. There are many definitions of motherhood and the term a mother. And what comes to your mind when you hear the word mother? I know many people think about giving of birth to children. But it is much more than that. I like to talk about the things of God. I like to preach. I like to define things according to how I've been made to understand by God, how I have learned as a preacher. I like to share good things called glad tidings. Glad tidings are the things that influence the lives of people in a positive way, grow them, build them up, increase their confidence, and make them to understand life in a better way. So the definition of a mother, most people know is about birthing and nurturing. The first mother, according to Christianity, is a woman called Eve. And from the Bible, Adam named Eve. The name Eve was given by Adam to her, and it means the mother of all the living. Every living thing looks up to Eve as their mother. Not only the children that are given birth to by Eve, but even the animals, the trees, the creation, the living and the non-living. They all expect Eve to nurture them. Eve can be a name to any woman that has the instincts of motherhood as per that name. The mother of all the living. She is the mother of even animals, the pets. That is why we see a lot of women who may not like to have children tend to have pets like cats and dogs, and they tend to them, nurture them, care them, feed them, protect them, and love them, showing them affection in a lot of ways. Even though they may not know what they are doing, but it's their maternal instincts ingrained in their genes and passed down all the way from their grandmother Eve, who was the mother of all the living, like they are too. It does not simply mean the mother of children given birth to, But there are many things that mothers nurture. They provide the love and the warmth, that affection that may not proceed from many men, but it proceeds from women. That softness, that having mercy towards and taking care of, and providing an enabling environment for growth, health, and sustenance of the creation, including plants. Can be a mother of plants, can be a mother of that which you have been given to take care of, to be in charge of, taking care of, in a way that shows, in a way that ensures sustainability, providing a comfortable, loving, healthy, there is no toxicity environment for things to prosper, nourishing, providing food and water and anything that is needed by the creation. That is motherhood. And there are many things that take the title mother. A country can be referred to as a she, a female pronoun, because a country is a nation that has given birth to people, that has provided an environment comfortable enough for people to thrive. It has provided food, it has provided a fertile ground and good climate and weather for plants, animals, men and women, for activities to thrive in. It even provides the natural resources, minerals, everything that is needed for nourishment of things and existence and sustenance. That is why the land, the country, is referred to as a she. And Africa is commonly referred to as the motherland. The motherland is because it has sustained people, and not only people, but people with a strong identity called Africans of different colors. They are not only black, but there are different colors, different shades of colors of people and tribes. As it is rich in culture and identities. But for all that to have been possible, the land of Africa had to have provided food, water, minerals, natural resources, and a comfortable environment for living and unliving things to thrive, including animals and humans. It is the motherland because it has provided an ecosystem where you can exist in, where you can eat, where you can sleep, where you can go to school, where you can follow your dreams to fulfillment. It has all happened because of the land, the motherland, which is called Africa. And every other land is termed as with the pronouns over a female to refer to a mother. The birthing, providing of sustenance and comfort, providing the best conditions in which life thrives. That is land as a mother. There is also church as a mother, simply because it provides an environment for people to coexist as brothers and sisters, and to look up to a common source of guidance, spiritual guidance, light and wisdom in the day-to-day life, and guidance regarding how they are going to live in terms of principles, morality. Just like a mother teaches you the difference between right and wrong, the church is a mother too that teaches people between right and wrong. And it's a direction to align the people with that which is going to ensure that they are going to live life in the best way possible, comfortably and peaceably, and coexist with one another without fighting, or in a way that they are going to love one another. And how does this happen? It happens because there is a lot of teachings in the scriptures that describe love for one another. Love for one another as brethren. And one scripture that stands out for me is one in Psalms, which says, "How beautiful is it for brethren to dwell together in unity." That people dwelling together in love and unity is so precious and so beautiful, to the point the scriptures liken it to the precious anointing oil which was poured on the head of Aaron in anointing him to be God's servant. And the oil flowed down all the way to his beard. And that anointing was so precious, and love is compared to that. But love, as defined by the church, which is a mother, is to do good to one another, to speak the truth to one another, to be humble and kind, to esteem your brother or sister to be better than yourself, to guide in a good way without malice, to have pure thoughts towards all brethren and sistren, to be honest with one another, truthful and authentic. And Jesus taught, saying, "The least among you is the servant of all, and he is the greatest. He or she is the greatest." And he taught that to tell you that before God, the best thing is to humbly serve others, to guide others in humility, without pride, and to do to others that which you will expect should be done to you. That is Christianity. And that is all about the church, which is a mother. And as a mother, the church is responsible in teaching and instilling the children the best way to live with one another and to live in the earth which God provided to you as your inheritance, as your heritage. And Jesus said, the least among you is the servant of all. To become great, you don't become great by brutally enforcing laws or forcing others to respect you or demanding. You cannot demand obedience and submission. But obedience and submission can happen through love when you serve one another. The greatest is made. You can only become the greatest when you become too humble enough to take away the pride and the ego and decide to serve with the mind of God, to serve others, be it your wife, or if you are a woman, to serve your husband, or if you are a child, to serve your parents in humility, and with love, having a positive mind towards God and all people. Those are some of the principles of motherhood. Church is defined like that as motherhood. And also, there are many things that describe mothering, to the point motherhood is not just an irrelevant thing that people may brush under the carpet as though it is nothing. Words can give birth to things. That is an aspect of motherhood. Everybody that is an inventor or creative in some way has to have an idea, conceived in his mind. And then that idea grows or transitions to become, it is actualized. But the brain is like a mother, because it gives birth to the idea, to the point that idea becomes something that can be worked with. That is an aspect of motherhood, giving of birth and multiplication. When God created the living, He told them to be fruitful and multiply. There cannot be fruitfulness and multiplication without a vessel to accomplish that. For every one of you to exist as you exist now, and for every idea and invention that has ever come, has ever been actualized, is because there was the aspect of motherhood, of mothering. There was the aspect of conception, be it the children, the animals, the plants, the idea, or anything that is conceived. But it had to be conceived so that something came out, so that something came alive, so that something gained shape, is because there was the concept and the idea of motherhood, of giving of birth, of conception. And so, having known that, then it is useful to appreciate that which God has given. And we don't do it just in one day. You don't appreciate the motherhood just on Mother's Day, but you do it every day. You can. There is a commandment that says, honor your father and mother, and you shall live long in the land that God is going to give you. In that commandment, the mother is given, she has a portion of receiving honor, without which nobody is going to live long enough to experience any blessing on earth. Many people may not have been honoring their mother, but they wait for Mother's Day to just post them. But they don't call them, they don't listen to what they may have to say, they don't speak words of love and positivity to them, they don't thank them, they don't demonstrate love during other days. They don't even call them or buy them gifts or ensure that their mothers do not feel as though they are unloved by them. Many people display fakeness because everybody else is posting today, and now they post, though they might not have been appreciating their mothers. So I have preached about motherhood, the aspects of motherhood, the natural and the spiritual aspects. It's not just about giving of birth to the children, but it is more. The whole creation looks at a woman for mothering, including the lions and the elephants and everything. They all learned motherhood from Eve. Eve was the mother of all living, and Eve is the great grandmother of all the women, and all the women have the maternal instincts one way or another. Even though the devil or evil or corruption may become too much and try to destroy and wipe out any aspect of motherhood or any positivity about motherhood, but it is ingrained in all the daughters of Eve, the maternal instincts, and it is not a bad aspect or characteristic of women. It is not weakness. Motherhood is not weakness. It is the strength of God. It is the gift of God to you. It is the only blessing that makes women unique, when they can mother in any way, be it in giving birth of children, or in nurturing animals and plants, or in guiding, in teaching, in providing a comfortable environment, or in becoming the best examples for their children, so that children will live and follow the light. It is something so powerful that men don't have it physically, or I can say naturally, in their bodies. Men cannot give birth. They cannot carry the babies for 9 months. They cannot experience all that is experienced in giving of birth to a real, natural human baby. They may experience maybe conception of ideas and other ways of multiplying of things. You know, I said motherhood is illustrated in a lot of aspects of the creation. It could be the words spoken. The words spoken may give birth to things, but they are first conceived in the heart or in the brain before they are released or given birth to by speaking or by writing down or by actualization. and that which proceeds from the lips or from the mind may become something, and that something may change the world either positively or negatively. It may influence the people. An idea can be bad or good, but it has to be conceived first. Is an aspect of motherhood. Everything runs on motherhood. For life of everything, or for anything to take form or to take shape, the aspects of motherhood cannot be avoided. It is such an important feature that the most loved thing to God is called a mother. It's the church is called the mother of us all, where we can live and become brothers and sisters and exist in love and oneness and unity, doing good to one another, serving one another in the best way possible, submitting to love, and ruling one another with love. You know, becoming a servant is serving with love, humility, patience, understanding, and every positive thing or aspect that Jesus Christ taught. And when you do that, you don't have to demand to be submitted to in any way or to be listened to in any way. You will have everything at your given to you by God. You become the greatest. People are attracted to that energy which you carry, the energy of love and positivity and spreading of oneness and kindness to all creation, providing the best environment in this earth which God has provided us for people, souls, to live and coexist, and for a future generation to come into and thrive and to live life, to live their purpose. You know, a healthy environment, a healthy coexistence is an environment we create not just for ourselves, but even for our children, the children we give birth to naturally, or the children we give, or the things that we give birth to, maybe in any other way, maybe by ideas, inventions, creativity. But all that cannot happen without an environment that enables it in a positive way. So, for multiplication and fruitfulness, it is a requirement that this special creation of God called Mother is part of the conversation. You know, when God created Eve, the woman, and presented her to Adam, Adam was so excited, and she was so excited, he was so excited that he could not wait to name her and to be in her company. She was an helpmeet. She was going to help Adam. If Adam was going to be fruitful, then he will never have become fruitful without Eve. If Adam was going to dominate the creation, to lead the creation in a positive way, he will never have done it alone. And so God saw that he needed an helpmeet, and this helpmeet was called Eve. Eve, meaning the mother of all the living. That everything on earth looks up to Eve as their mother, as their teacher. You know, the first teacher is the mother. The reason you know your language, your tribe, is because your mother taught you. She taught me how to speak fluent Kipsigis language, and how to read and write, how to write ABCD. He even taught me the principles that were going to be useful to me to live with other people. The principles like honesty, like integrity, like humility, like standing up for yourself, like fighting for yourself, like courage, hard work. She is the most useful teacher that a child cannot do without her. And if in some way the child grows without a mother, there will be a gap, a void that is not filled, that can only be filled by a mother. And so, if it reaches a point where there are many that are motherless, then you can imagine the level of damage to the creation that can cause. Because there are going to be many children living with a void in them that has never been filled. A void in them that could only be filled by a mother. And there will always be a cry within them, a cry for attention, and it can come out in many different ways. And in many ways, the way that is presented, or the way that void comes out, can come out in very many negative ways. It can hurt them as individuals, or can hurt other people who live with them, who live around them, or those who look up to them. And they will never appreciate, they may never appreciate women or motherhood. They may not be kind to the people or to the creation. And instead of nurturing, they may kill. Instead of becoming creative and inventive, they will become dumb and unproductive, because creativity and invention are all derived from the concept of motherhood, of conception, of multiplication and fruitfulness. So, to a point, inventions and creativity like those of Albert Einstein or Isaac Newton may not be possible where there might be gaps and voids that were never filled by a mother. You know, these things manifest, they come out. And for everything to live and coexist as God willed and designed is if we appreciate the need for motherhood, the need for women and their role, and to show them how much that which they are is something, how much it is not nothing, how much it is golden or very beautiful to be a mother. And it begins with you and me. It begins with us as men, and the women who have been enlightened to the point they can teach others and pass wisdom and knowledge to the younger ones or to the future generations. We have to instill these things so that our sisters, our mothers, will not live thinking that being a woman or being a mother is a weakness or is something that is irrelevant, so that they will not live thinking that what they are is not anything, and so that they will live and appreciate good principles and become the best mothers and teach those who will look up to them, teach the children they may give birth to, guide, nurture the environment, nurture the plants and the animals, take care of the wildlife, provide a healthy ecosystem for peace and love and growth to happen, so that a lot women and mothers and sisters will not try to fit in and become men, but they will be proud of that which they are naturally, so that the identity confusion will be reduced and even eliminated, because the females will become the best versions of themselves and emit the uniqueness and the beauty and the femininity that comes with being female and mother, and emit even the love, the positivity, the nurturing, the useful characteristics of female nature, of motherhood, so that they will even love children and love to have children and love to be around children. You know, right now there is a lot of toxicity. There is a lot of hatred against even children who are innocent. How will those children grow up if they with toxicity and unloving conditions? So we have to spread love and appreciate the uniqueness and the strengths that come with female nature, with being a motherhood or with being a sister, or the best characteristics that define motherhood, even as much as the creation is concerned. You know, none of us is useless here. Everyone has a place in the universe. God created the universe for all of us, and so there is no need for anybody to fight their sister or their brother, or to hate or to spread hatred or negativity in any way. But we can spread the best of that which God intended when He created all of us here, and when He provided this universe for us to exist in. You know, this universe is so big that nobody will ever own everything by himself or herself. There is too much that God is willing to give you if you only align yourself with the best of His principles, of the principles of that uniqueness that He created you with. And so, having known that, you will begin to love yourself, and when you love yourself, you will love that which is around you, including people and children. You know, Jesus Christ said, you love one another as you love yourself. What about if you don't love yourself? You know, not to love yourself means you hate that which you are. You hate your identity. Maybe you hate being a man, or you hate being a woman, or you hate being whatever you are, or you are unsatisfied with yourself, with your color, with your tribe, with your skin tone, with your physical characteristics, with your intellectual characteristics, with any characteristic that is unique about you. If you hate that which you are, then there can be no capacity in you to love anything. And you cannot even love one another. You cannot love a brother or a sister. You will harm your body, and you will harm other things that should depend on you, that should depend on your positivity, on your goodness, on your kindness, on your nurturing, on your love. But that is the best of you, and that is why you are here. You are not here in vain. There is a lot about you that is useful, and that is why you are here. If there was nothing useful about you, then you will not be here. You will have been eliminated. But now you are here, and I'm here. It means we can influence, we can change the nations in a useful way. We can repair that which is broken. We can heal that which is sick. We can guide, we can provide the light of God, the light that God designed for us to walk in, and the blessings that come with that. There is a lot that God gave us, that God created us with. And so you can only love others by appreciating that which God created you with. And when there is too much love to yourself, that love will emit. It will be emitted like sunshine. It will flow from within you to others. It will flow from you to the children, from you to your brother, to your sister, to your mother, to your father, to the stranger. There will be less violence and less harm, less even crime. Because if the best of you emits positively and usefully to those around you, then those around you will receive that which is coming from you, and they may receive, and it will impact them in a useful way, to the point even them, they might be filled and give birth to positivity, love, kindness, and patience, and light. And that light will spread from you to another person, from another person to another, just like dominoes. You know, a domino effect, a small square-shaped domino falls onto a bigger one, and that bigger one falls to another bigger one. They keep falling. That is how impact is spread or is transferred. Trauma can be transferred from maybe a small pain or a small amount of trauma, a small amount of negativity can be passed maybe from maybe a small child. That child passes that negativity to another one. The negativity is transferred and keeps going to the point now the whole population in the whole world is very toxic. And when everything is toxic, then nothing can thrive can thrive or can flourish or can be fruitful or multiply or successful. That is why there is a lot of wars now and fights, men fighting women and women fighting men, children against their parents and parents against their children, crime, killing, a lot of evil, to the point everything bad has been normalized. Even innocent babies are killed even before they see the light of this world. They are killed because in the first place those who should protect them have been conditioned to think that motherhood and nurturing or protecting and providing the best conditions and environment is weakness, but it is not weakness, it is strength. The best people have come out of women. They have been born by women. Kings have been born by women. Scientists have been born by women. Great preachers, prophets, leaders, the best have come from women. They have come from proper mothering, or there was a mother involved, there was a woman. Even if they did not receive all that should be defined as mothering, but one way or another, a woman was involved. A mother, the basis was a mother. The basis of the characteristics that define motherhood enough to bring children into this world, or to give birth. There were conditions that define motherhood for anything motherly to have happened, including conception and growth during all the 9 months. Even the King of Kings, the Prince of the Kings of the earth, the Prince who makes people to be kings, whose name is Jesus Christ, was born by a woman. Not even a man was involved. The only part where a man served is where he had to protect the mother, where he had to ensure the mother was safe till the child was born. Not even a man was involved. Just imagine that, when Jesus Christ was conceived. But of all the creation that God looked at, he looked at a woman. Of all the creation, of all the men, God chose a woman. You know, God could have spoken his word and said, let there be, and maybe there could have, a child could have appeared, or he could have created a child like he created Adam and Eve. But no, he didn't do that. He valued motherhood so much. He valued his creation. You know, God invented this motherhood thing. He created Eve, the mother of all living. And so when he created the woman, she was beautiful. And she was attracted to both God and to Adam, and even to the entire creation. And Adam was so surprised and filled with joy and admiration. And God looked and he said, it is good. There can be nothing bad in that which God created with his own hands, and then looked at it and said it is good. And so I was talking about Jesus Christ. the King of Kings, the Prince of the Kings of earth. She was conceived, and only a woman was involved. God chose a woman to be involved in conception and bringing into this world his son, who is a prince of the kings of earth, a king of kings. The responsibility of teaching and nurturing and growing and providing food and environment for the king to thrive in, that responsibility was given primarily to a woman called Mary. And Mary had a role in ensuring that which we believe now, the Christianity, the preaching of the gospel, all this started with a woman who received the word of God from an angel. A woman that God trusted enough to mother a prince, a king of the Jews, a king of the world, called Jesus Christ, a king of everything. To tell you that in the eyes of God, there is a lot of beauty surrounding motherhood and womanhood. There is a lot of positivity and usefulness. There is the best, there is the uniqueness, and that God values in females. And if God values that, if God values females in that manner, it means that everybody, every man should also value females, should value their sisters, their mothers, their aunts, and any female colleague, be even strangers who are females. That is all about it. I've talked about motherhood according to how God has taught me as a preacher of love, light, order, and the best of living. I had to shine light on that which people have been talking about today, the conversations running in the media and on the ground regarding motherhood, female nature, and the relationship of that with light and order, with godliness, with the design, the original design of God. I have preached or taught that because I'm a preacher who believes in a creator. And I know a lot about this creator to the point I will always share with people how I understand him and how he has taught me to understand my sisters, my mother, my mothers, my brothers, and everybody, including the creation, even animals and elephants. How he has taught me to live and coexist and to shape or to guide everything. I will share the wisdom for those who believe in God and Christianity. If you are an atheist or don't believe in the things of God,